Simon. The first thing I want to address is I want to acknowledge that I really said that incorrectly, and I apologize. I do absolutely understand that spiritual people do not have to be religious, and on the flip side of that, not all religious people are spiritual. I think I was just trying to figure out, why you're not spiritual, why you say you're not spiritual or religious, and I just didn't finish that thought. I'm sorry. I do understand that you don't have to be religious to be spiritual. And in fact, that many religious people are not spiritual at all, even though they may say they are. So again, I apologize. Then I just want to thank you for the sympathy you have for the fibro flare I've been in. The little crash I've been in. I have been taking functional recovery very seriously. And in fact, I hate to take naps. It just feels like I'm wasting time, even though I know they're important and good for you. So I have been calling them functional recovery periods in my calendar, and that makes me a lot happier. Makes me feel like I'm doing something even though I'm not doing anything during that time. But it's been helping a lot. I'm feeling better, my motivation is coming back, and I'm happier than I have been for a long time. So that is really nice. I do agree that rest is boring, very, very boring. And so really the only way I can rest right now is to put on an eye mask and just go to sleep. In terms of just lying there doing nothing, I can't do that. But they say that that's what you need for recovery from any type of nervous system problem, whether that be burnout or fibromyalgia, is just to let your nervous system rest and reset. But so hard to do. You mentioned that you're sometimes impatient about your own existence, and I can understand that. Sometimes I feel like my brain is going way faster than my body can accommodate, and it's kind of frustrating, but it's kind of fun too to see where my brain takes me. I do see how the pacing around can help you regulate your mind, and so I'm sorry that maybe you're not able to do it as much as you'd like, or you shouldn't do it as much as you'd like. And I also see now how the sit-ups wouldn't work at all. I thought it was just a matter of releasing pent-up energy, and so I thought, try another exercise. But yeah, when you were born, I knew you had the diaphragmatic hernia, was very aware of that, but not aware of the long-term effects of that. I didn't know you're missing part of your lung and your rib cage is collapsed. Yeah, I had no idea about that. But anyway, should you see a physio before you start exercising? Yeah, probably. But, and are you using that as an excuse to not exercise? Again, probably. Yeah, but it's a totally legit excuse, so don't worry about it. To go to the werewolves, I love the idea of the backdrop being at a cabin. I think that's because I'm remembering a couple of family reunions we had somewhere in the middle of Utah at a big cabin that had enough rooms for all of us to sleep in, and there were trees everywhere, a big lake that we could canoe on and swim in. It was so fun. You would have been really tiny, but I think you were there. Don't know if you can remember it. Anyway, I think that's why I like the idea of the backdrop being a cabin, and I would like to see it shaded in green with silhouettes of trees and stuff like that. I think that would be really cool. Also, I like the drawing just in pencil, and then, you'll shade it in a little. Maybe because that's how I've been seeing it, but I just think that would look really neat with the background with the kind of blobby silhouettes of trees and then the werewolves drawn in a sharp contrast. I think that would look really neat, but that's just my input. The drawing you switched to at the end of the video is so cool. I love the octopus monster. I can't tell if it's mean or not. I think it is. But there's a little animal in the water that's maybe playing with the tentacle or maybe getting caught. I can't tell. I tend to think it's mean because it almost looked like the cactus was backing away. Anyway, I have Girl Scouts tonight, and we're going to finish our digital movie maker badge. And so in order to teach that, I had to learn a little about editing. And it's definitely not as hard as I thought it would be, but it's very time consuming. So I want to thank you so much for doing all the editing because it does take a ton of time, and hopefully as I learn a little bit more, I can help with that, maybe edit my own videos. I'll work on that. Thank you. I have still been seeing some spiders here in the apartment, which I call Chateau Soleil. So my brother is going to call someone to come spray so there won't be so many spiders. I'm not afraid of them anymore, but I sure don't like them. So this is a shorter video too, and maybe that's just the pattern we're falling into that will work for us. I want to say take care of yourself. I love you. Take care of your foot and your burnout. See you next time. Sorry, Simon.